Hey everybody, and welcome to another JASP video. In this one, we're just going to talk about how there is a major new release just a couple of weeks ago. Actually, just a week ago, October 3rd, Monday. And this is October 10th when I am filming this video. Huge new release, 0.16.4. Lots of improvements for you Bayesians. So this is a special shout out to all the folks who use JASP because you use it for its Bayesian functionality or other newer uses for a GUI stats program that rests on R. So now you can attach an SQL database to JASP. So for those of you who are dealing with large amounts of data and that data changes frequently, then you can just hook up your SQL database doing that. Now, I don't know SQL, so I wish I could tell you how to do this. I'm sure if I looked through the functionality, because that's all I figure out, how to do this. So if you're somebody who watches my videos and you're like, oh, how does he know all of these things? I just click buttons and play around with things and see what happens. If it breaks, it breaks. If it doesn't break, then great. But I thought I'd put this out just in case people aren't checking for new updates. That's why I put these videos out. I've got a lot of subscribers and a lot of people who watch these videos who are in other countries and may not be up to date on following the news out of the developers of JASP, right? So that's really why I do this. But unfortunately, I don't really know how to hook up. I don't have an SQL database to hook up to JASP. Now, ANOVAs have gotten a few additions for our frequentists here. Standard error and coefficient of variations have been added to the descriptives table, which is very important. Friedman tests checks for unreplicated block design, okay, to see if that has been violated. The help file has been improved, and then Laplace approximation has been added to the Bayesian ANOVA, which I, for one, am a fan of this acronym, BANOVA. Good job, guys. Good job. BANOVA. Love it. Bayesian ANOVA, Bayesian analysis of variance. T-tests, the Brown-Forsyth test has been added, and it is now the default for the equality of variance tests for independent samples t-test, as opposed to the Levine's test for this. And now standard errors for effect sizes have been added to frequentist tests. So if I ever update my t-test module, I will certainly make a note of that. Factor analysis, a couple of additions have been made for the EFA, and so the exploratory factor analysis and the principal components analysis. Ordinal variables permitted. Options for poly and tetraquark correlations. Help files have been improved. Help files are a godsend. As well as additional for exploratory factor analysis, Mardia's test of multivariate normality. This is always great. So this is a normality of the combination of your factors to see whether or not the combination is normally distributed. And then the detailed output of parallel analysis results. Frequencies, so the contingency tables have been updated to include 3 more values. So we have the unstandardized, standardized residuals, and then the Pearson residuals. Although, give me an Oxford comma right here. There we go. Yes, live and die on the Oxford comma. Cochrane meta-analyses have been updated. Machine learning has added Palmer penguins. Mixed models, larks and owls for the data set. So new data set to explore mixed models. And mixed models here do not mean between and within subjects. Mixed models here represents random and fixed variable models. Okay. The random effect estimates. There you go. just in case anyone's confused by the vocabulary that statisticians and social scientists and other scientists use. We don't really know where to stop with this vocabulary. It's like, yeah, it's mixed models, of course. But so is that. That's also mixed models. Network models, improved graphical options. This is a strong suit of JASP and their network models and the network models that are created by JASP. This is a little deficiency in Jamovi that I think needs to be updated. I really wish they would focus on better control of the plots and models that are created. So this improves how you do it. I might actually do a video on this one. I need to explore it a little bit more, of course. Regression, offset included to the general linear model, and then improved help file for what the VIF means and what it can do. And I clicked on this sort of ticket number. I think that's what that is. This ticket number to explore what was going on. And it wasn't enough information on how to compare VIF, that kind of thing. Reliability, bland Altman plots, which is another way to test reliability beyond just statistics like Cronbach's alpha. Specifically for the structural equation modeling, error message when data handlers of categorical data are missing, release constraints from multi-group SEM, and then path coefficient tables have been added, which is obviously quite wonderful because the only way that you could get those path coefficients was to have the plot be created for you. Now you don't need the plot. You can create your own plot. A lot of people create plots in Google Slides or PowerPoint or whatever, because you have a lot more control of where the arrows and boxes are and all of that stuff. So now, and especially if you have a massive SEM with so many measurements going into the latent variables and all of that, and it just becomes really unwieldy when you have all of that information. And so here you can get those tables and you can partial them out, especially if they're like overlapping or you're having trouble reading them in the table, or the path diagram. So that's really good. Summary statistics, and Bayesian z-test has been added for summary stats. Compute column. So if you are unaware, you can compute variables in JASP, even though you can't edit the spreadsheet, which is quite the challenge, but it is still possible. So there, you can compute additional things now: the Box-Cox, the inverse Box-Cox, and 2-parameter power transformation, and the Yo-Johnson. And then you can grab the logit and inverse logit transformations. All right. And then just JASP updating which R version it uses. So, and then this helps handle Unicode on Windows a little bit better. Amount of engines used by JASP can be forced by admin. That's pretty cool. This is a Windows only thing. Exponent notation available for table options, and user-defined label for missing values in data. Now, this is something that Jamovi's been using for a long time, and I probably will make a video on this on the channel coming up probably the week after this video drops. So just be aware of that, because sometimes you want to use missing data, and Jamovi's been doing this for a while. And so this is, not something that should be left. Okay. And then here are the bug fixes. I'm not going to go through each of the bug fixes. So that's all that's new in 0.16.4. I would imagine that the newest update is probably coming in a few months, maybe the first quarter of 2023, which sort of matches how they do this, because the last big update we had was back in June. So every 3 or 4 months or so is how they are running that. If you have any comments, suggestions, or feedback, please leave those down below. Thank you for watching this video. I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.